You guys averted disaster in the football world. Jim
Yes.
Harbaugh is back. Santaono tweeting out that he just got off the phone with Jim Harbaugh. This guy loves him some social media, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. When Santaono was wheeling and dealing like he is, you can stay on social media as much as you want. I'm so happy that we have Santaono as our president now, and I'm happy to have Jim Harbaugh back in Ann Arbor. Yes,
because I thought you were just saying, I want this to be over. I'm tired of this. I'm done with this. Because that's been all Michigan fans saying that.
Okay, I did want it to be over, but it was resolved very quickly. The Monday after
They're back.
The Monday after the dead period. And now it's let's ride. Michigan has a lot of people coming back this year. I mean, they got J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, Will Johnson, Mike Sanderstill, Chris Jenkins, Michael Barrett, Junior Colson, Cornelius Johnson, Zach Zinner, Trevor Keegan. They're all back. All back.
The tweet from the tweet about Jim Harbaugh from Santaono, the Michigan president. This was Jim Harbaugh. I'm sorry. Jim Harbaugh said, "I love the relationships that I have at Michigan, the coaches, staff, families, administration, President Santaono, especially the players and their families. My heart is at the University of Michigan. I once heard a wise man say, don't try to out happy, go blue," where he always wanted to be, D-Mac.
Yes, sir.
Every year.
Who said that?
Jim Harbaugh said that.
No, who said don't happy? He said he heard it once. But who said it originally?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but is the biggest problem, maybe I'll go to you, Neil, because you were actually AD. You're on the payroll. Does anybody else
Uper says Neil
look
did it,
behind
boys.
this and say, okay, so Harbaugh, and I get it, but went right to the president to work it out. There's no ward manual, there's no AD in the conversation to everything else of what we heard. Does this mean that the AD who doesn't make himself available, right, is more not available? But isn't this a bigger flex by Harbaugh to call the president to get it done and then go, hey, we got it done. Don't worry, we don't need you. From what we've heard in the last week about, well, let's just get it done, where the AD was going to say, hey, you know what? We did everything that we could. And Harbaugh went straight to the president. Am I overreacting, or am I reading?
No. I think you're accurate. The AD is useless in this process. Like this is Michigan's football coach. This is Jim Harbaugh. See, here's what people need to understand. Like the world we live in, where you have your checks and your balances, and like if you work at a shop and you have your foreman, and then you have the owner and stuff like that. Like the foreman level, that doesn't apply here. This is Jim Harbaugh. And this is the president of the university, and the president wants to get this. You think the president wants to lose Harbaugh and lose what's going on right now in Michigan football under his watch? No.
So here's my question. Does this open because of this conversation, the way that in Harbaugh coming back? All I want to know, and I'm sure you do too, because you have more expectations than a lot of Michigan fans to compete for national championships, does this open them up to compete for recruits in the portal and to do different things that we complain about that Michigan won't compete on those levels or compete in those waters?
No. Now that's where I'll pump the brakes a little bit.
So
it's been proven. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with that. This has nothing to do with that.
My thing is that if he's talking to the president, where you said there's no chain of command to whatever else, would think that it's like talking to the owner and going, 100%. Hey, we need this guy, we need that guy.
And that's a great call by you, D-Mac, because here's the deal, and I'm talking to the Sam Flannels of the world right now. Like, and I brought this up yesterday on the show, but I think today it only reinforces it more. The Michigan fans, and they're whining and they're complaining and well, just go already. I just want him out. No, you don't. Stop with that. This guy is your only hope. You had to have him. And here's the deal, guys. Remember, this is professional sports. I know it's college, but it's professional sports. And Jim Harbaugh, and so, who said it on here earlier? He will just do this exact same thing again next year. Yes, he will. And you'll sit there and take it. Because you got another 13-0 season coming up, because you have an 8-game exhibition schedule, once again, where you warm it up. And that's the way that it's going to operate, guys. And then next offseason, he's going to try to get back to the NFL. I think he wants to win a Super Bowl. You know, I think that burns within him that he wants to. And look, I know.
I think the stuff that he said that came out from John U. Bacon and stuff about his frustration is true.
I believe
with
that too.
With everything else, my whole question. So I guess in my mind, right, where you said that I know it's college, but it's run professionally. Well, there's two levels. There's the colleges running it like college, and then there's a very few, or the SEC and a couple teams that are trying to operate it professionally. That's how you get the national championship. Like, you're at a ceiling right here competing. I just wonder if it changes. Yes, Neil, I think the frustrations and everything else. What would you bet right now that we're in the same situation next year?
Depends on what jobs are open. You know what? Like, it's fluid. It'll happen. 100% it'll happen. I think that's where he wants a shot.
We know for a fact he wants to be there.
He wants to ride the perfect wave, though. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about Ben Johnson, right? If anybody offers him, he's probably going to take it. Is that fair? Like
right, because it's a next level thing.
It's a next level thing. For him, he needs the perfect situation to leave. And then he will go.
Right.
But guess what, guys? You guys, you're sitting there and you're crying and you're complaining about it, just be quiet and accept the fact that you're going to sit there and take it, because that's what you are. You're going to do that. You are. So guess what? He's back. And the way the schedule is lined up. See, Harbaugh has sorted some things out. And then you guys hate it. I know you do, Sam Flannel, and all the Michigan fans. You guys hate it. But like the schedule next year. Is it embarrassing? Yup. But guess what? They're going to be 12-0, and they're going to be in the college football playoff again because the Big Ten stinks. So they're going to be there. And I don't hate on it. That's a brilliant play because that's the way society works now.
But then you're still doing the college thing because you're not prepared to make that step to the next level. So you're gonna run into the same thing every sort of year. You don't have that preparation game or on your schedule except for probably the Ohio State, right? I don't know. Like, do you see that how yeah, that's great to get you there, but it hinders you. Hopefully when the playoff system comes in, that'll be more meaningful games down the stretch earlier, right? Like the playoffs start earlier, so you'll be playing a playoff game, which is a more meaningful game. So
you'll get what you want.
I just from experience, you need those reps to prepare yourself to know what you have. Like,
but DMAC, that's not the way this works. That sounds great. I love it. I love your idealism. I love where your head's at. It's cute. I want to pinch your cheeks.
To me, 12-0 with no schedule puts you in the same position you were in this year.
Oh, DMAC, you're so romantic.
It's frustrating because sometimes you need to get your head kicked in. We saw it from Dallas last night. Everybody's worried about their last game of the year. No, it was a wake-up call. Alex Smith nailed it pregame. On the ESPN pregame, he said, "You know what? That's going to be a wake-up call." For like that's what they need sometimes, a close game, something to fight other than just that one game.
But Sam Flannel, you don't want that. You like it better like this, don't you?
I mean, I want college football playoff appearances.
That's it. You just want to beat Ohio State and win the Big Ten. That's all you want. You've been programmed for that.
Wait a minute. You didn't let me finish. Because if you get in the dance, you have an opportunity. I'm not saying it's the best opportunity, but in a lot of sort of matchups, I think Michigan can win a national championship under Jim Harbaugh, even if they don't recruit as good as Georgia or Alabama, because of matchup situations. If Michigan keeps getting in the college football playoff, which I believe they will this year with a crazy amount of starters coming back, a weaker schedule, Ohio State lost C.J. Stroud, I think they'll get in again, and they might set themselves up to get in, especially with it expanded, pretty much every single year. You have a chance as long as you're in. I'm not saying they're recruiting as good as Alabama or Georgia. They're not getting all the 5 stars, but they could get favorable matchups one year.
Against TCU?
And you know what? That was a terrible, terrible missed opportunity, and I will never live that down. But they can't let that happen again because they got to go win national championships. Because right now, what the Michigan program is, I don't think there's a single program in all of college football that has won more conference championships to national championships where like the disparity is higher than any school in the country, and I want that to change. But I at least want them to keep winning those conference championships.
See?
Take them to heights that they haven't been.
You guys, get out of your feelings about it.
not
You're
my
getting
feelings.
what you want.
I am getting what I want.
So why are you guys all worked up every year? Oh, well, next season this will happen again. Yeah, it will.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about next season. I was worried more about this year because I've looked at a couple different recruiting websites. Everything that you see has either Michigan as the 17th ranked class or the 20th. That's what.
That's good enough for you.
No, it's
yes,
they just
it
won
is.
2 Big Ten championships.
Right,
They can't,
and that's good enough.
they're supposed to be higher though. After that, a program is supposed to like a Clemson, for example.
Not when you don't have the infrastructure around. And I saw somebody earlier talked about how they changed their name, image, and likeness program. That was the most Michigan move. The One More Year Fund, where you can give Blake Corum some money so he comes back. Like, no, that's not how it's going to work.
I mean, should I not want that though? Like, at least keep the guys that you have. Like I said, this Michigan team is going to be really good next year because they're returning so many people.
To beat dogs, you need dogs.
I understand, but I mean, I think Blake Corum's a dog. I think Donovan Edwards is a dog. They've got dogs, not as many as Georgia and Alabama, but they've got dogs.
So therefore, they can't beat them. They can't. I'm sorry, they can't. You have to get those players to start. Where are your 5 stars? Where is your 5 years in a row with a wide receiver taken in the first round?
No, it doesn't exist. I mean, their 5 stars are Will Johnson, J.J. McCarthy, and Donovan Edwards. But their wide receiver room, we have talked about. I'm happy that Cornelius Johnson is back, but he ain't a number 1, and I say ain't for effect. He had his all-time greatest game at Ohio State, but he's not a number 1. That is a legitimate concern. That is where they're weakest at. And yeah, they haven't had a first-round draft pick skill position player since Braylon Edwards. That can't happen.
Yes, Tammy Chin, by the way, yes, it's called the Valiant Fund. She says, I'm curious what portion of that money goes to the players. They say it's an incentive-based program for players to come back, which is fine. But it's already been proven that those players that coming back aren't at that level to win.
They're not at that level, but they're damn good players.
Okay.
I mean, Donovan Edwards.
And that's good enough for you, right?
Donovan Edwards, Will Johnson, and J.J. McCarthy. Those are guys that are at that level.
No, those are good enough for you.
They're going to win the Big Ten again.
So, okay.
No, I'm not saying that's good enough. I'm just saying that's the first start. If you don't win the Big Ten, you can't go to the college football playoff.
Ohio State did.
Okay, but I don't want that. I don't want that. Why would I want to lose to Ohio State?
That's fair.
Ohio State.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I honest to God think that I wouldn't want to win the national title if we lost to Ohio State.
That's not. Oh God, that's tough actually. Ohio.
What?
Oh come
That
on.
should not be tough.
Okay, you know what? We're done. Harbaugh's coming back. We're done. I'll get back at you guys in July. Okay? Is that fair? Can we do that? Can we commit to that, D-Mac?
That's perfect.
You just got all.
everybody else happy.
That's honestly tough.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
I just gave
How
you
is
guys
that
all you
tough?
need to know.
You'd rather beat
But
Ohio
at the end of the
State
day,
than win
Neil,
a national title?
right? Because
Maybe not
because
now,
what do we
but a
realize?
couple
The
years ago,
self-awareness
yes.
is we have bigger expectations than most fans.
And D-Mac, again, that's what it boils back down to.
You and I sitting here-
I have bigger expectations for the Michigan football program than Sam Flannel does. Than most of you
in
fans
this
do.
room, and there's a lot more people like that.